Hidden along the river Great Ouse in St. Ives, Holt Island is a peaceful escape where nature, quiet waters, and winding paths invite you to slow down, breathe deeply, and rediscover a sense of wonder. Join us as we once again explore some of Holt Island's best-kept secrets. We begin at the drinking pool where a pigeon enjoys a paddle. He begins preening himself, knowing he is all alone in the pool. He is in absolute heaven, briefly observed by an envious blue tit. A jackdaw appears. Suddenly the pigeon realizes he has to share. Our pigeon tries to make himself as big and puffed up as possible to try and put off the jackdaw. The jackdaw simply ignores him. He will not be bullied easily. Our put-out pigeon clumsily persists with his selfish attitude. The jackdaw splashes him in revenge. The pigeon disappears and the rest of the mob turn up. Spring begins its transition into summer, heralding the arrival of more activity on Holt Island. By the pool, some blue, great and long-tailed tits appear, coexisting in harmony. They are joined by a robin who is also quite keen to enjoy the tempting water. The robin frolics happily while the blue tits watch on. However, something spooks the birds and they fly away. A rat investigates the now empty drinking pool. He has discovered a tasty snack. Fully satiated, he scurries away happily. On another part of the island, a heron introduces itself. It's collecting materials to maintain its nest. This material didn't make the grade. Not too far away, our swan from last year has another brood in a nest of her own. She spends some time tidying the nest. Before leading her cygnets off for a refreshing dip. Sadly though, like last year, not all of her babies have hatched. Nevertheless, our swan is an excellent mother. She remains diligent during all hours. Back at the drinking pool, nighttime brings about a new visitor. Judging by its fluffy plumage, this young tawny owlet is probably about 40 to 50 days old. It seems a little unsure about the drinking pool. However, it soon decides to test the waters. For a moment at least. A couple of weeks later, we see the tawny owl has grown. He is now quite a confident young paddler. He enjoys a cooling bath in the refreshing water. And then takes his leave. Some days later, the calling cries of the owls pierce the stillness of the night. While later on, some rather notorious yet familiar figures will make a reappearance. A pair of mischievous badgers arrive at the drinking pool. They investigate their surroundings before engaging in their regular dose of petty vandalism. Breaking things can be thirsty work. After they've had their fill, they return to the family set. Just outside the entrance, the clan forages for tasty morsels. One of them feels the need for a quick self-groom. That really hits the spot. More vigorous foraging. This badger has found something it really wants. A couple of nights later, with some fresh branches appearing by the pool, one of the badgers returns. It's eager to see what new delicious snacks might have arrived. A deer arrives on the scene, also curious about the new food source. However, it quickly loses interest. The badger spots the camera momentarily before resuming its foraging. Another badger sneaks up, startling its sibling. The badgers show their gratitude for the new food. Meanwhile, an insect is blissfully unaware of the ongoing destruction. At a more serene moment in time, a song thrush pays the drinking pool a visit. It seems reluctant to have a dip, choosing to drink instead from the sidelines. A fledgling blue tit takes an interest in this mysterious source of nourishment. The song thrush is more than happy to share. Also coexisting in relative harmony are the resident deer and crow. The deer graze peacefully while the crow watches on. A magpie joins in with the sharing of the water source. The magpie, spotting something, hops gracefully over the pool before flying off with a tasty prize. Elsewhere, a sneaky water rail tries and fails to avoid being spotted by our camera. Back at the drinking pool, the deer is joined by a squirrel and rat. After the group of unlikely friends leave, a moorhen arrives. It takes advantage of having the pool to itself for a paddle and preen. Then the bellowing sound of some quacking disrupts the peaceful scene. A pair of mallards turn up for their own private dip. These mallards are mated only for the duration of the breeding season. All is peaceful for now, but soon the atmosphere will become somewhat fractious. A female blackbird embarks upon a quick visit to the drinking pool. Sensing trouble looming, it bathes with urgency. This trouble later arrives in the form of a black squirrel. This moorhen knows better than to mess with this thug. A grey squirrel arrives, hoping to share the pool. It is quickly chased away. The grey squirrel returns, but one steely glare from the black squirrel changes his mind. Further bullying efforts take place. Even the crows become a target of his aggression. With the black having moved away slightly, the grey squirrel returns again. Fed up with the island bully, our heroic grey squirrel launches a counterattack. Peace and tranquility return once more to Holt Island,